Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk. Welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. Joining us today from Boulder, Colorado is Mary Cochran with Launching Labs Marketing. Mary, thank you so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Thank you for having me, Charlene.
It's our pleasure. So I love your name, Launching Labs Marketing, because it really says it all right in the name of your company, which is excellent branding, which is what you do.
That's right. Well, we do have a mascot that's an actual lab. That's Junior, and so we love our black labs, and we like the double entendre of labs, and because sometimes marketing is a lab, and so that's that's why we came up with it.
Well, I loved that you walked I went to your website, which, by the way, we're in Jacksonville. I'm not going to lie. I thought the lab was a jaguar because I think in Jacksonville, Jaguars, we just see jaguars anytime we see some animal jumping. But what I really liked about your site is you really do explain it for the consumer, for the client. And so many people have just, the resignation nation, and they're starting their own businesses, and they don't know, they got these ideas, they don't know where to start. But you really said, look, it starts with a great logo that speaks to your brand. It then goes to a website where that matches your brand, that people can understand what it is you do and how you do it. And then we reach out to your customers and bring them to you and work by building your business that way. So can you share a little bit about with folks, like how you came up with that kind of process and why you have, maybe tested it to find it that is really the way to go?
Yeah, well, especially for startups, we do like to, as you say, start with a logo and website and make sure during that process, we find out really what the company and their core values are and pull out messaging from that. So we do have a process for that. We usually start with a half-day workshop. And because of our broad background, we're able to pull these messages out pretty quickly. And in a variety of different industries, it really doesn't matter because when you get to the core, you get to the core. And we do like to see that represented across all platforms because that's something that's also almost missing. Sometimes it'll miss, like from Facebook to LinkedIn to their website, they may not carry that message across all platforms, even in their social media posts or digital ads. It's important to carry that brand throughout.
And I notice sometimes, I have a marketing company and some clients, they don't really have a good grasp on their brand. And that's why it looks so scattered. And I know part of what you do is helping them identify their brand and recognize their brand and own their brand. I want to ask you, leading off on that question, when companies are coming to you, whether they're a startup or they're established and they need some help, what is the problem? Why are they not consistent with their branding? And then once you get them consistent, what's the next step?
Well, sometimes it's not even inconsistency. It can be, but sometimes it's just the brand doesn't represent them properly. For example, we had a client that's logo was beautiful. They paid a lot of money for it. It was very well done, but it was a tree with a lot of little hearts, and they had a lot of sort of social values, and so they thought that was a good logo. Well, the company was an internet security company. It didn't say anything to that. It didn't speak to the brand at all. And the owner said, if I have to hear what kind of cardiologist am I one more time, I'm going to scream. So I think first the brand has to represent the company and its owners, and not necessarily just some marketing manager that decided that's what our brand's going to be. And then just making sure that those core messages follow you, whether it's in writing, sometimes video, could be social media posts, could be your actual profile on Facebook or LinkedIn or all those. So I think it's important to do an audit and just double check that everything still looks like you and represents you.
And so that is a great tip. But before we wrap, we always ask, we ask our folks, like, what is the best tip that you can give someone that they can put into action tomorrow to help their business? And in light of, we know we've got all these changes coming up in the next couple of years, next year or so with AI and, tracking and cookies and things like that. So could I put you on the spot and say, what's your best tip, as well as being able to kind of put that tip into place with what's coming up down the road?
Well, I do think, as I said before, starting with a good logo and website is a big tip. So go back and look at that. Coming up, I think recovery from COVID is going to be a big thing. And I believe that a lot of money is going to go into marketing and advertising as we start to rebuild the economy. I think that video is still gonna be big. Influencer marketing is still gonna be big. NFTs will be big. So I think there's a lot going on. It's going to be very exciting to see. The platforms are going to continue to evolve and change, and I think there's going to be room for more platforms, newer ones.
Well, Mary, that's all great advice, and I'm going to encourage our viewers to check out your website and give you a call, because particularly if you're just starting your business or you're like, look, I need to refresh to get prepared for these changes, I think you are a great organization that can help them walk through the process and save money and save time.
Well, thank you very much.
No, we appreciate you joining us today. Oh, it's our pleasure, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us today on Digital Champions. You stay safe and healthy.
And you too.
We will do our best. Well, folks, if you'd like to learn more about what Mary is doing over there at Launching Labs Marketing, she's got some great content on there. You can check them out at dailyadbrief.com. I'm your host, Charlene Chirk. That's going to do it for this episode of Digital Champions, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.